Okay, we are officially recording. Yay. Welcome, everybody, to our team call. I am so excited you guys are here. I look forward to these so much. I know I tell you that every week, but I really get excited to start our week with these calls. I'm motivated. I'm focused. I have a game plan for my week, and I hope you guys are getting the same out of it. Tonight, I am very excited. We have Kristy on here. I begged her to get on this call. She was so sweet and gracious about it. And you guys, I don't know if you know this woman or not. I know a lot of you have been doing this a while and have been following her. She is a great leader, so sweet. She is just like a great example of pouring into others and the blessings that come back from that. I was watching your Diamond documentary recently, and I did not realize how small of a town you are from. And I have a lot of people on my team that are in small towns, and it's kind of a struggle of theirs, you know, wondering if there's going to be any way for them to be successful because they don't have a huge place where they're networking. So I was hoping you could touch a little bit on that. But then also, yeah, just share your story, girl, and then maybe your top tips and how you've been successful in this, and we will soak it all up.
Okay. So like Kendall said, my name's Kristy Hull. I'm a Diamond Ambassador, and this is actually my 35th month with Plexus. So almost 3 years in, and it's crazy because it just feels like I started like a year ago. It does not feel like 3 years of my life. And so that's good because like that means I'm having fun and I'm not stressed out every day, and I actually like what I do, and I'm not like, it feels like it's just everything, like the same thing over and over. And so I actually got started in Plexus about 4 months after I was initially approached, because probably like many of you, you were skeptical about network marketing. I was too. I had nobody here was doing Plexus that I knew of at the time. And so when I was approached, I just said, I can't tell people no. So I told my sponsor, I said, just send me the information. I'll look at it. And honestly, I had no intentions of ever looking at it. And she followed up like a good ambassador every month for 4 months, you guys. And about that third month, October, I had seen people back home in my small and like in towns that are next to my small town that were either having success with these products that she had told me about or having success with the business. And so it kind of made me think, Kristy, maybe you should actually look at the stuff she sent you. And so I was sitting at my desk on November 11th of 2013 on my lunch break, and I thought, you know what? It's $34.95. Like, if you don't do this and something comes of this opportunity, you're going to want to kick yourself in the behind. So sitting there, I signed up, and, you know, I really did not take off super fast because I really didn't know. For one, I had done network marketing before about 10 years ago, and for about 6 months, and I swore I'd never do it again. And so I was kind of a little embarrassed that I was doing it again. And I really didn't want to put it on Facebook like every day and push it down people's throat, which was what I thought I was going to have to do. And so I posted about once every 3 or 4 days. And I did that up and through the holidays. And then January came, and I just told myself, I'm like, if you're going to do this, who cares what people think? Like, if you're going to do it, you need to do it 110%. You need to give it a chance. And so my big goal with Plexus, like this is how small my mindset was to the opportunity, just because I had the preconceived notion that what I thought all network marketing companies were like was that if I could be making $500 a month by the end of my first full year, then I would feel like I'd hit the jackpot. And so my third month in, so in January of 2014, I went silver, and I think I made right under like $800. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is, I mean, that was my year goal, you know? So I realized that I should probably look at the comp plan and dream a little bigger. And I just went for it. And a year in working my full-time job, I was able to hit Emerald at my 1 year anniversary. And I was able to hit Sapphire 2 months later. And then 3 days after I hit Sapphire, my husband was in a really bad car accident, and our world completely stopped. I was still working my full-time job at the time, and so I remember calling my boss and telling him everything that was wrong with my husband. You know, one of the things was his aorta was severed, And I remember my boss telling me, well, I figure a day or two max, and you're going to need to be back in the office. And I didn't even respond because I was just like, I just told you everything that's wrong with my husband, and you're telling me I have to come back to work. And you guys, I had worked for this company for 10 years. I owned a part of the company. Like, I spent 75% of my time with these people, and that was like what they told me. I need you back in 2 days. And so obviously I didn't go back in 2 days. I stayed at the hospital for 47 days with my husband, and we came home. He ended up, I think he had 7, 8, 9 surgeries in the hospital. He ended up losing his arm. Just a huge life change for both of us. And came home, and I did go back to work in April for about 2 or 3 days. And I just knew, like, my heart was telling me to quit my other job. I knew I couldn't deal with the stress of my boss and my life change. And I knew that I had Plexus and my business was fine, and that this was probably the reason that God had put Plexus in my life, because I never knew why I decided to do it that day. And I had always told my sponsor, I want a passion why. Like, for us, it was just fun money, retirement money, like pay off our debt money, but we never had like a passion why. And I mean, that's a blessing that we didn't. Like, it wasn't a financial deal that we had to have, but we just saw business opportunity. And so my sponsor takes me around day 38 in hospital, and she's like, I think you got that passion why, Kristy. And I was like, I know, right? And so we fully do believe that God put Plexus in our life back in 2013 because he knew that we would need it in 2015. And so I quit, ended up officially resigning on April 21st. And on the 28th of April, I hit Diamond. So 17 months in, and I'm pretty much working a full-time job right up until I hit that. And so, like Kendall said, I am from a really small town, 282 people, you guys. Okay? 282 people. That's probably most people, like most of you guys, if you went to a big town, like she said, there's some small town people on here, but you probably graduated with 282 people, and so that was kind of an excuse that I could have used, and that actually one of my sisters had told me I wasn't going to do anything with it because I didn't know enough people. And if that thought is ever in your head, scratch it out and tell yourself, no, that's not an excuse, because this is why. You guys, there are 282 people in my town. There are probably 20, 30 ambassadors, and there's some emeralds, there's some golds, there's some senior golds, there's a ton of silvers. And so it's not just about where you're from. So this is the key. And I say this on my Diamond Dog. It's not just about who you know, okay? It's about who you know and who that they know. So this is what you need to do. You need to look for people in your network, on your Facebook page, whatever it is, that you know that they have different networks than you. You know that they live in a different place than you. They got big networks. Those are the people that you want to look for. Yes, I've signed up a ton of people from back home, but majority of my team are people that are not even around my area. I mean, I have a ton of people in Louisiana. I have a ton of people in Texas. If I do have people in Arkansas, they're up north of me. And so really get that mindset out of your head that if you live in a small town, then it's going to be harder for you. You just have to look outside of that small circle and look to your big network and find the people that are going to have those different networks than you and have a bigger network than you. Another tip that I love to tell people is you need to focus on getting business builders on your team, okay? Yes, wholesalers are awesome, and you have to have wholesalers to get to the top. But if you don't have a business builder, then it is going to be so tough for you to get to the top. It's going to be like you are working it yourself. And it's kind of like when you start, and I feel like to get to gold, it's just as hard to get to gold as it is to get to diamond, because I feel like when you're gold, you're still newer and you're working, and it's kind of like you're the only one that's working it so far. So you've probably signed up a lot of wholesalers at that point. But if you can get 1 to 2, even 3 business builders on your team that see the vision, that want to work it like you, then you've got it, okay? And then you need to teach them to do the same thing. Now, who would I consider a business builder? Like, okay, well, Kristy, you're saying find business builders. Like, who would you go after? So these are the people that I looked for when I was looking for prospects, looking for people to send a cold message to. I looked for people in my network on my Facebook page that they had a lot of Facebook friends, okay? A lot of people followed them. I don't mean like if you look at their page and it says followed by, like that number really doesn't tell you a whole lot. Like if you're trying to build a team, look for the people by follow. I mean, like when they comment or when they make a post, they've got a lot of people that are liking their stuff. They've got a lot of people that are commenting on their stuff. Okay. Those are the people, really, normally those people are going to be people that are super active on Facebook. Okay. Or on social media. Look for the people that people trust. So these could be the people that maybe it's somebody that they're like the PTO president, or they're really involved in a lot of mom groups, or they're really involved at church. Whatever type of organization is, they're always the people that people tend to draw to, and they're going to go to for their opinions. And so that they automatically, those type of people are going to have a huge influence on people because people already trust their opinion, they trust their judgment, they trust what they're doing. Look for busy people. And I know that kind of sounds crazy, like, because you're like, well, busy people, aren't they going to be too busy? We can all say we're too busy to work this business, but the busy people are the people that they know how to manage their time, okay? And if they really want to do the business, then they will be able to fit it in. I think a lot of times we look for people to get signed up that we think want to do the business or need the business, which is awesome. And then, but those people don't have the right mindset right away. Like they think they can just push join Plexus and then sit back and it's going to happen. And they get frustrated and burned out really quick. So you're going to look for the business builders that have huge networks that people trust. They've got a lot of following. They're really active on social media and that they're busy. And even look for people that own other businesses. So my husband and myself, we own Sonic restaurants, and then I owned part of the construction company I worked for. And that was one reason when Plexus was presented to us, I did not sign up for the products at all. I didn't even I'm going to give you a confession. I didn't even take the products for the first 3 months because I really did not know that much about them. I'm a super healthy person, workout person. And all my sponsor told me was that you could lose weight with the pink drink. Well, I didn't need to lose any weight. So I kind of thought I didn't need them until I got into the business and started working. And I was like, oh wait, there's more to these products than just losing weight. So look for people that are business minded, that are they know how to already run a business. They are always looking for other ways to make money. So look for people that perhaps have a business. And definitely, this is my biggest preach to people. You have to be consistent, okay, you guys? If you're not consistent, then all of this is going to be for naught, okay? I feel like a lot of times people sign up and then they, they're not consistent with posting on Facebook. You guys, I built my business. I would say 95% of my business or more was from me posting on Facebook. One of my emeralds, actually, we were doing a thread in the Jules page a day or two ago, and people were saying, what made you sign up? Why did you sign up to do Plexus? And one of my emeralds commented, and she said, Kristy Hull had posted consistently on Facebook for 13 months. 13 months, she watched me. And she said, I had never been interested until my husband was going to lose his job, and I knew that I needed to make extra money. And because she had consistently posted about it, she reached out to me. I mean, I never would have reached out to her because I really didn't know her, and I would have never thought she was interested. And so because of my consistency, I mean, like I said, this is my 35th month, and I've signed up 3 ambassadors last week. They've all been on my Facebook page for 35 months, you guys. And it's taken them that long, but they've watched me the whole time. They finally believe. So you have to be consistent in your Facebook posts, okay? You have to be consistent in sending out cold messages and prospecting. I don't know how you guys feel about cold messaging, or if that's the big thing that y'all do, Kendall, but it is so imperative to your business, okay? A lot of times you've got to think, there's people that they probably want to reach out to you, but they're just as scared to reach out to you as you're scared to reach out to them. And sometimes it just takes breaking that ice. And so here's a few tips, what I like to do when I'm reaching out to people about the business, okay? When I reach out to them and I'm reaching out to them about the business, it's because something has popped into my head that made me say, okay, Kelly would kill this, and this is why. So when I message her, you know, I'm going to open it up with something. Hey, girl, so good to see your family. How things going? Blah, blah, blah. I know you see that I'm crazy passionate about Plexus. I've been in it for about 35 months. This is what it's done for me really quick. And I'm continuing to build my team, and I want you on my team. And this is why I know you would be good. And you're just going to list it. If it's because they're trustworthy, or if it's because they've got people follow them, or if it's because you know that they need the money, whatever it is, before you even try to like give them the statistics about Plexus and all that junk, which I don't really suggest doing anyways, tell them why. Because especially women, we're our own biggest critics, okay? So whether it's about how we look, what we're wearing, what we can do, we already have in our mindset that this negativity, okay? People see things that we don't see about ourselves. So you just have to tell them that on the front end, because when you reach out to them, if you're not telling them why they would be good at this and why you think that they should join your team and why that they would kill it, they're already telling themselves as they're reading your message, well, yeah, Jennifer can do this, but I could never do this. All right. If you tell them up front in that message, the 3-4 things that you see in them that would make them be good at this business, their mindset is already switched. Okay. They're already opening themselves to the possibility that, okay, maybe I could do this. If Kelly, she's doing really good in this business, so if she says I can do it, then I think I can do it. Does that make sense to y'all? Okay. So being consistent and posting on Facebook, being consistent in prospecting and sending out cold messages, and being consistent in training, okay? And reaching out and building on your first 3 levels. So we always, obviously you want to build go as deep and as wide as possible, but you really want to make sure that you're always focusing on your level 1s and making sure that they're duplicating down what you're doing, and then your level 2s are doing the same thing, because you're getting the most pay points, okay? That's where you're going to make the most money from your first 3 levels. So whether that's, if you guys have got a team page, whether that's posting a daily video with some training, whether it's posting a written training, whether it's doing a live. I don't know if y'all have been doing a lot of live Facebook things with your group pages, but those have been going over so well for so many of my leaders on their group, on their team pages, that these people are like gold or senior gold, and even some of my rubies, their pages just aren't real active. They don't get a lot of participation, but for some reason, the live trainings at night, like at 8:30, they're getting like hundreds of comments, when normally, I'm not even exaggerating, they would have about 5 comments if they posted a video for people to watch. But there's something about doing it live. People feel like they're going to miss something. So maybe start incorporating some live trainings on your team pages, maybe doing some blitz days. And what does that look like? That looks like having some people come over to your house if you have a lot of people that are local to you, and sitting down, and maybe that's you helping. They all have to bring their list. They all have to bring their computers. And maybe that's you helping them message some of their prospects that they don't know how to message, or responding to some of their prospects that they don't know how to respond to. But being consistent in training and following up with these people, because the last thing that we want anybody to do is to sign up and then them feel like they're left out on an island by themselves trying to figure this out, okay? So from day one, you need to let them know that you are here for them. Now, do I mean hand holding and dragging along? Absolutely not, because I'm not a hand holder and I'm not a dragger. If you want to work this, then I'm going to be here for you 24/7. Okay. But if someone signs up and they haven't really taken off, I do all of the initial training with them, but I let them know that, you know, if they're not picking it up and doing it right away, that, hey, I'm here for you. Like, let me know when you're ready to do this. I've had people that have been on my team for a year, and then they finally message me again, and they're like, okay, I'm ready to do this. And then we have another call, and we go over everything again, and then they take off. So never count people out. Continue following up with them. Maybe it's an ambassador that's not really working it. You still follow up with them, kind of like they're a customer, making sure they're working, their products are working for them, seeing if they need help. But you kind of need to figure out which ones like want you to check in with them all the time and which ones don't. So being consistent with Facebook posting, cold messages, reaching, like following up with your prospects and your ambassadors. I'm sorry, you guys. And in your training, okay? Those are going to be huge. And another thing I want to hit on really, really quickly is excuses, okay? Every person in the world could make an excuse for anything, okay? We all have excuses, but some of us choose not to use them. And so what Kendall, I'm sure she was talking about when I got on here, the double rank bonuses and a post that she had made on our team page. This month, I've told my team, if you've never put an excuse out the door before, this month is the month that you need to say, my excuses for not working this business, for not helping my team, for not posting on Facebook, whatever they are, those excuses are out the door. This month is huge. And I don't know if you guys have watched the Sarah Marble. She did a Rocktober game plan video, YouTube video. If you haven't watched it, go watch it because you will be so motivated. But that's what she said, like in her video, she talks about what a huge month this is and can be for your team. This month is setting you up to succeed for not only October, but push you through November and December and be ready to rock and roll come January 1st. Like what this month can do for your team alone is huge. And so all your excuses need to be out the door. You need to be working your booty off. And she even said, you know, this, if you have to put in extra time this month, and maybe you even need to sit down with your husband or your kids and say, okay, mommy's got a big goal and it's going to take a little bit of extra time, but this is what the reward is going to be if I can hit it. You know, going all in. And I know that Kendall is here to help you all go all in and reach your goals. And so you got to get those excuses out the door. But my tip for rocking October and helping that letting that promotion help your team grow is focus on silver, okay? If you're not silver, that needs to be your first focus, is getting yourself silver. If you are silver, or even if you're gold and you're trying to get that gold rank back, look in your team and see what 2, 3, 4 people or what people on your team are not silver. And those are the people that you need to go to, and you need to say, this is the month that we're going to do it. We're getting you silver. I need you to get me your list. We need to figure out if a written message, if a voice message, if a phone call, like what is going to get these people off of the fence. And so I'm telling my team this month, the focus is silver, silver, silver. All this business is, all that ranking up is simple duplication and multiplication, okay? That's all it is. It's just getting 3 people and then getting 3 more people, and then you teach those 3 people to do the exact same thing. The power of 3 is huge. It has huge potential, but you just have to put it into play. Let's see what else I'm doing. I'm also reaching out to any of my inactives, okay? For my level 1s, and I'm sending them does anybody use the voice message feature on Facebook Messenger? Okay, that is my favorite feature. For 1, it saves my fingers. For 2, I can use it while I'm driving in my car. And for 3, it puts a personal touch on your message, okay? So when you voice message back and you're following up like maybe some inactive level ones, or you're following up with some prospects that have never joined, like have never like followed through with what they're saying and they've not joined yet. They can hear that excitement in your voice about this promotion. They can hear your heart in the voice, and it's not just words. Like, you know, sometimes words can come across the wrong way, but when they hear your voice, it makes it personal. And a lot of times when you're using, like, a lot of people that don't do Plexus, they don't know about that voice message feature. Okay. And so even if they don't want to reply to you about Plexus, they'll usually message back and say, oh my gosh, I didn't even know you could do that. Like, you're my first person I've ever heard do that. That just opens up the doorway to finish out your conversation. So, really be reaching out to your inactives, and, you know, maybe it's somebody that signed up and they said they wanted this and then they just really didn't put everything into it. Or maybe they had something come up into their life. Let them know. I mean, this is what I've done. I've reached out and said, hey, Shannon, I know it's Kristy, and I know when you signed up a couple months ago, you said you really wanted this, and why they wanted to do the business. And I know that maybe a couple things came up and the business didn't take off like you wanted, or you couldn't do it right then. But this is me reaching out to you because Plexus has put out this amazing promotion, best I've seen in the almost 3 years I've been with them. And you can get your bonuses doubled this month. And I want to help you hit that first bonus. I want to help you get your business started again. This is me reaching my hand out to you and offering that again. Okay? Simple. I put my personal touch on it. I genuinely mean it. And you never know. You never know, like, if somebody would want to come back, but they're just too scared to. The same thing with somebody reaching out to you. They're just too scared to reach back out to you because they might feel like you're mad at them because you didn't continue it the first time or whatever. If they're not interested, they're not interested, you guys. And another thing, I'll touch on one more thing. Another thing I heard Kendall say when I was getting on was talking about, you know, something about fear. And, you know, everybody has that fear, especially when you first start, of hearing the word no, getting rejected, you know, what people are going to think about them. And the longer you're in the business, it gets easier to just, like, get over it. But we all have that fear when we first start. And what I had to tell myself, because I got so upset when I first started, because I would take all these no's so personal, like they didn't like me. And it wasn't that they didn't like me, they just didn't want Plexus at the time. And so I finally realized that the no's aren't personal, okay? They're not going to kill you. And that more than not, the no's or the not right nows usually turn into yeses, okay? Has to be their right timing. It has to be their season. Maybe they have to see it 100 times. Maybe they have to see it for 35 months before they jump on. But a lot of times those no's eventually come around. So, you know, push past your fears. Your fears are only going to make you stronger. And the only thing that is holding you back is yourself. And so I know that if you join Plexus, there's something that told you inside to join it. There's a reason that you signed up. Maybe you had a huge why. Maybe you just had a small why, and then you need to make a bigger one if you've hit that. But there is something that made you join, okay? You shouldn't join for nothing. Remember that when the going gets tough, and remember that to push through. And then that's what you need to help your team focus on too, is always going back to their why, okay? I know that y'all hear that all the time, and everybody talks about your why, your why, your why. But you have to have that why, or if not, I mean, this summer was really slow. There's so many people that could have just thrown their hands up in the air and said, I'm done with this. But they didn't, because they had a strong why, and they believe in this company, and they know that it can work for them. So Kendall believes in y'all. So I'm going to believe in y'all. And so you just need to believe in yourselves.
Thank you. I have one question. Can your voice hold up for one question? You poor thing,
Yes.
that's probably getting you. Can you really quickly just touch on the importance of three-way calls? Because I do three-way calls with so many of you. They are so fun, so successful, but I know that there are a lot of you that have a hesitation on that because we call them, three-way calls. That's not what you're supposed to say. But they're so important, and I feel like, I've been doing them morning, noon, and night, and I'm loving them, and I want this month to really take advantage of that. So if you can touch on the importance of that a little bit.
Yes. So I will admit that I did not do a three-way call at all until earlier this year. But I've been in a business so long that I didn't have to. And I guess for my people to get them on board, they didn't need that third-party validation. But with my team, I have learned that they are so important because you are given that third-party validation. It's someone that's been in the business a little bit longer. They've got a different story than you. They're a rank or two above you maybe. And that person, so they're going to get your story from them that you've already been telling them. And if you get them on the phone with your sponsor or your upline or whoever is offering to do these for you, then they're going to hear their story, okay, and how Plexus has changed their life. And maybe your friend, she might be your friend, or maybe she's just your prospect. She might not relate to your story. But the story that Kendall tells her, that might be what gets her because she relates more to Kendall's story. And so I think that they are great. I know Timmy Yancey. Have you ever had her, Nicole?
Not yet.
Okay. She's my level 1. And she swears by three-way calls. She does them all the time. And she actually did a video for our team the other day. Rebecca and I wanted to do them because she talks about it so much. And so I'll share the link with you to put on your page. But she talks about what she does in three-way calls and how effective they are. She has I would say a 99% success rate of signing people up if she gets them on a call, if some of her teammates get her on a phone call with them. And it's not because of there's anything special she's saying. It's because people need that third-party validation, okay, and they might connect more to her. So if Kendall is offering those to y'all, yes, take advantage because I'm going to tell you, not everybody, not all leaders offer those to people of all levels. And so that really is another tool that you can use. And a lot of times I'll tell people if they just absolutely won't get on a phone call, then see if they'll get, you can add her to a messenger with you, okay? And you can still use the voice feature on there and all of that.
Yeah. And I had one person ask if you lead with products or business. I'm assuming because you started with the business, you probably lead with that a lot.
Yeah. I lead with the business. And, if people initially approach me just about the products, I'm not going to try to push the business on them. Unless they ask, because I'm not pushy. But if I approach somebody, I don't think I've never cold messaged somebody specifically for the products, okay? I've only cold messaged for the business. And I should probably cold message people for the products. But I've just had so many, a lot of my people have finally reached out about the products. So usually that's not their hesitation, it's the business. Have y'all watched the Whitney War video on leading with the business? That video, okay, I'll send that one to you.
YouTube okay, if you have it, yeah.
It's on YouTube, but I'll send it to you. It is so eye-opening because she talks about if you lead with the business, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to you're going to build a team of business builders. If you lead with the products, then you're going to have a bunch of wholesalers, okay? And so it was so eye-opening to so many people on my team. And she went Emerald in 9 months. She knows what to do. Yeah. So I'll share both those videos with you.
Okay, perfect. Well, Thank you so much, girl, for getting on here. I hope you start feeling better soon and you get the stuff off your tonsils. That's hilarious. But I hope it gets better soon. So.